Hi, my name is Sacha, and in this video I wanna show you one of the most all-the-time iconic guitar pedals ever built, the Small Stone phase shifter by Electro Harmonix. We first heard it, kind of phase shifting on Guitar World, in the Shin A Univibe guitar pedal from 1968, which Jimi Hendrix made him very famous. That was not a real phase shifter, it was kind of. It's always been considered as a univibe effect, so something different from a phaser. First phaser was the Eventide instant phaser, but was not for the guitar world. It was not a guitar pedal, it was a rack mount system, and it was very heavy and big and used in the studios, maybe by guitarists too. Okay, it wasn't until the mid-70s that we started seeing phaser pedals. The first one was probably the Maestro PS1, which had 3 colored buttons for selecting the rate, the speed of your phaser, so slow, medium and high. But I think that the most popular phasers from the 70s were the MXR Phase 90 and the Electro Harmonix Small Stone, which was first produced in 1974, the version 1. We had 3 versions during the 70s and the early 80s. The first one was the V1 and it has a very simple graphic. Then it was the V2, which by the way is the one that I own. It's this one. You got big orange blocks and this black part with phase shifter written on it. And then we had the third version, which was from 79 to 82. And that graphic was used for the reissue in the 90s. The difference between the original V3 and the reissue, basically aesthetically speaking, is that the reissue has a LED and the original V3 doesn't. So V1 is from 74 to 76, V2 is from about 76 to 79, V3 is from 79 to 82. This Small Stone, for your information, is a 4-stage phaser and it has been designed by David Cockerell, which is a very funny name to me. So let's have a closer look at the Small Stone phaser and then we come back to my face and I will speak it to you and I make you hear how does it sound. So this is how it looks, the Electro Harmonix Small Stone. You see, phase shifter, that's exactly what it does. It shifts the phase. This is the only control we got. It's a potentiometer and it's for selecting the phase shifting rate. Like this, it's extremely fast. Like this, it's extremely slow. And right this, it's something in the middle. Then you got the color switch. What does that mean? Nothing. Simply like this, the effect is more subtle, and if you switch it up, it's more present, it's more rich, you can clearly perceive it. On the side panel we got the input, output, and this is for your 9-volt AC adapter. It's a mini jack, something like that. I don't know how it's called. It's mini jack. You got your on-off button, which by the way, by default, it's not a true bypass one. It's a buffered one. Everything is kept in place by these 4 screws. If you unscrew these 4, you can have access to the circuit inside the Small Stone. I never had the battery compartment panel. My shame, my bad. I feel very bad for this, but who cares? So let's unscrew the small stone and see how it is inside. Okay, this is how it looks, the circuit board. And on the circuit board, you get written right here, Electro Harmonix Small Stone Issue J. You'll notice that under every component on the PCB board, you get a small draw with something written. Maybe that's because the guys who soldered all the circuits didn't know exactly where to put all the pieces, and with this technique, you can't do it wrong. It's just written what components you have to put inside of it. Keep in mind that in the 70s, having a compact pedal like this with a rate knob, it was very interesting because back in the days no one had a pedal board, so all the guitar pedals were huge. No one bothers about having a compact device. Everything was big. Who cares? Maybe I get at least three pedals. It's okay having a big ones. This one is one of the smallest. Electro Harmonix back in the days started doing a smaller version of guitar pedals. For example, the Little Big Muff, which was like a half of the size of the original Big Muff. So it's easy to understand why such a small, good sounding pedal has been so popular during the 70s and has been iconic as long as the MXR Phase 90, because it was small, compact, and very good sounding too. During the late 80s and early 90s, Electro Harmonix co-branded some pedal with a Russian Sovtek brand, so they did the Small Stone too. So we got a green Small Stone, which is very similar to the most famous green Russian Big Muff, and then we had the black version with the red fonts, which was a little bit on the 90s. It was after the green one. The green one is the good one, as always. One important thing you have to understand if you want to use a phaser, phase shifter, you name it, is that it sounds different if you put it before a distortion or after a distortion pedal. That is very important. So now I'm gonna show you how it sounds with a distortion before the phase shifter and after, so you can hear the difference. One small con that these old phasers have is the volume drop. Usually when you engage this Small Stone or the other phase shifters, you get a volume drop, and that's why the modern phasers have volume, because you can compensate with an internal volume so that you get a good volume even if you put it before, after, doesn't matter. Small Stone has been iconic because a lot of people used it. A lot of famous guitar players, for example, Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead, Monkey from Korn. The first two records from Korn are full of Small Stone and Big Muff stuff. But we got Jim O'Rourke, James Barton, Omar Rodriguez Lopez from Mars Volta, Billy Corgan, and so on. Lots of people use it because it's great. Personally, I got it since I think 2004, so a lot of time. I've tried other phases, but at the end of the day I always use this one because I like it a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like, please subscribe to my new channel. Who knows, maybe one day I will have 100 subscribers and I will be very happy about that. See you next time from Sacha. Ciao!